Introducing ISA C8X.
So Mark, nice to see you at the Verbose bungalow, which is out in the woods, as we know.
Thankfully.
I mean, 3 new modules. I mean, you guys don't release an awful lot of stuff that often, so 3 you've got today, right? I did hear that correctly.
I heard if, well, no, I didn't hear, but if a module's new, people buy it, is the theory, I think.
Yeah, that's probably.
I think that's the latest business innovation from Verbos Electronics.
Okay.
But the thing is, we manufacture them ourselves, and we only have capacity to make 1 of them at a time. So it's not like 3 will be available at once anyway.
Okay.
We'll put the pieces together, make 1 for a couple of months, and then make the next, and then make the next.
So they're here somewhere, right? So we've got.
So first we're going to talk about the Filter Resonator. And this is 3 filters. And they can either be 3 band passes or a low pass, a band pass, and a high pass. And that's how I'm going to use it today. And so yeah, 3 filters. They can be used individually. So they have their own inputs, their own outputs, they have their own cutoff frequencies, and their own VCAs. The cutoffs can be modulated. You can control the VCAs externally, of course. So what I'm going to do is just turn up the low pass and turn up the filter, the cutoff frequency rather. So that's 1.
It's got quite a quacky quality, that, yeah.
Yes.
Is it any specific kind of filter, or is it just?
So when it's in the low pass, band pass, high pass mode, the low pass and the high pass are 4 poles, so pretty steep. But the band passes are, I actually forget the polarity. I think they're 2 pole.
Right. Okay.
But I think the topology is that it's all made out of low passes and high passes, and when you take, I shouldn't keep talking. Basically, Mark,
play the
ask
sound.
the other Mark about the specifics of this stuff.
Play the sound.
Yeah, so
dumb question.
Yeah, it's not a dumb question. This matters. And so here's the band pass, and we have band width for those band passes, which for the high pass and the low pass is resonance. So I can turn these all back up.
And we should get everything.
And now we have a mix of the 3. And then this is where we get to the master control. So we've set our frequencies here, but then I can move them all.
So you get that kind of formant gapping and all of that.
That's exactly what this is good at. And then we have a spread control. So the upper filter goes up, the lower filter goes down.
There it is. That's the yo-yo and all of that stuff.
We could do a bit of yo-yo if you want.
Oh, nice.
Etc. Okay, so, but these are all individually addressable. So that's what we're going to do now. Let's turn this down while I'm doing that. I'm just going to program something very quickly with a multi-stage to modulate the low-pass filter. So.
And is there a separate emphasis for these as well?
They all have the same resonance or bandwidth control.
Right, gotcha.
Yep. So that's some movement on our. I want to close that a bit more. Yeah. And now I'll do the high pass with this sequencer down here.
And these sound like they're clocked to the same tempo as well. So.
Yes, both these sequences are moving at the same. Yes, they're synced. And then the band pass, I'm just going to use a unsynced slow ramp on that. And then mix them together.
I can hear this in one of Mark's sets right away.
Yes, 100%. Yeah. And so being able to move 3 filters, it's just
Nice.
movement is easy to
And
come
I'm
by.
guessing if you wanted, you could pan those outputs on a stereo image and get all
We could have
sorts of-
3 different sounds going
Yeah.
to 3 different filters and then send to 3 different destinations. So yeah.
Yeah, nice.
But now the next part is this has been droning the whole time. We have VCAs. So I'm going to turn these down, and I'm going to use this to control the low pass.
So you're just opening that rhythmically.
Yep. And I'm going to use the second envelope here to control the high pass and the band pass. I just want to change the gate pattern of these a little bit. And I'm just going to put a little bit of delay on it. Okay, so yeah, this is to show that we have 3 independent volume controls for the 3 filters. So
That's nice, yeah.
this is also super useful for just practical controlling of multiple voices in one place.
So the all-in, I mean, you could obviously just have separate ins and have different note or melodies
100%.
or whatever.
100%.
Okay,
Yeah, so it could also be something of like a hub. You could think of it in that way as well. And I'm just going to quickly tangent to one of the other modules we have because I want to use it. So this is the randoms, and basically now it's getting a trigger and it's giving us 8 different static random values, which for us is very helpful because we have a lot of parameters to control.
Yeah.
And so this is kind of one of the first things that Mark's done where it's like actually thinking about the practicality of space.
Yeah. It's very small for a Verbose, isn't it?
Yes. So I just want to use these to modulate the decay time to make the sound a bit more interesting, hopefully. This one. Yeah, and so like obviously these types of practical utility modules are everyone's making this sort of thing, like 4 sample and holds in a small space or whatever.
Very handy in this instance.
This isn't a sample and hold. Mark would talk at length about how the randomization is created, but I'm not going to try and do that. Something that I'm not going to show you, but I'll explain, is this sequencer section, where basically if we stop generating new values and we step this forward, it plays the 8 values as a sequence.
That are currently held in the buffer, right?
Yes, until you create a new set of values.
Right.
But I'm going to put this back and
Just needs a massive kick now, doesn't it, really? But, I'm not
Yes.
asking you to put that in. We do have a time limit, so, we could go all night.
And
know
I
that.
need another pair of envelopes, which I don't have right here.
Right.
But okay, that's basically it for this guy.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to put in this filtered noise as the input. And basically here it's all about very, very short delays. So the longest time it'll do is about 40 something milliseconds.
Right.
And the
okay.
shortest is going to be under a millisecond. So these taps are very close together. So this one is 2.5 milliseconds, then another 2.5, and then the third one's a bit further away, 20. And so we can make a different mix of taps, which gives us different flavors of cancellations and reinforcements with the comb filtering.
So it's kind of like selective phase cancellation almost in a weird kind of way.
In a sense, but it's basically just a building block to be able to do all sorts of flanging, phasing, comb filtering. But so then the delay time essentially becomes like the pitch. Now we can audibly hear delay. That's as slow as it goes.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
There's like macro delay.
Yeah. Yeah. And of course we have feedback, which comes from the third tap and goes through a bandpass filter, which is the same topology as what we had in the filter resonator. So there's bandwidth, and this allows us to focus in on a particular frequency.
Okay.
So I'm just going to turn up the feedback. We're in familiar carpless strong territory here, and so I'm going to leave that dampened here for the moment. We also have a built-in oscillator, and this is normaled to the delay time. So in the production model, these are all prototypes, by the way. This one, the slowest speed isn't very slow. It will be much slower than this.
So this is now modulating the delay time.
100%. But I've found in the past few days that it's much more interesting modulating at an audio rate.
So it's almost like a deconstructed time-based modulation effect in a way.
100%.
Right.
Yeah, Mark will tell you that I think the Marshall time modulator is definitely part of the thinking behind this one.
Right.
Especially with like this offsetting of taps. Pretty sure that's straight out of the modulator, time modulator. So this is just pushing back the first tap by 7.5 milliseconds, and it just changes the flavor of the filtering and the second tap. But anyway, back to the modulation. So using audio rate to modulate the delay time is good. Interesting things start happening with the feedback.
All right.
Especially as we open the filter.
It's almost, that sounds like the stuffing input on a VCS, on an EMS vocoder. That's interesting.
Yeah, so now I'm going to modulate the filter so that we can hear kind of different flavors of feedback as the filter moves around. Just random values, whatever. So I'll take the audio rate modulation off.
Oh, nice. That's
so the
interesting.
audio rate modulation is really
it's got
doing something interesting.
And you got different waveform outputs as well that you presumably can.
Yeah, later on I'll show you that we can also use this as a voice. But I'm still interested in trying different audio rate frequencies currently. But
that's really interesting.
And again, like this is the input.
Yeah.
We also have an envelope follower, which is normaled to the delay time as well. So now we're going whoa, 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 whoa.
That's really interesting. I don't think I've ever heard anything like that before.
Yeah.
Again, just missing the kick, really, aren't we?
That's always the problem around these parts.
These parts. The kick comes in much later. I can't hang around for that long, but you know,
we're actually about to pull out the 808, so
okay.
Just a little bit late. Okay, so that's basically it, but I'll just quickly show you that it can also be a voice. So I could take the same oscillator, put it through the filter, and then plug the filter into the input.
And presumably you could run volt per octave or whatever on the input.
It's got a volt per octave input, yes. So these
it's almost
taps
like phase distortion almost, isn't it? I guess
I'm no expert on phase distortion, but it's basically you've got three very short repeats of the sound, which you can then move backwards and forwards in time, and it creates these.
It's almost pulse width.
That's what it has, that flavor for sure.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
And these are also VCA inputs.
Oh wow!
So we can control the volume of all the taps individually. And this isn't the most interesting way to do it. I'm just sending some some random envelopes in. But you could use it as a voice in this way.
As well, right. Okay.
I'll just send some pitch information to it just for the lols. Yeah,
Wow.
but I think this is brand new for us as well, but I think there's going to be be interested trying some audio rate stuff, or like audio rate mixed with different modulation types into the VCA inputs.
Yeah. Neat.
We're still exploring that, but yeah. And then the very final thing is that the taps have their own outputs.
Right, okay.
So if you pan some of these left and right, you're also going to get some strange
yeah.
stereo
Sounds
stuff
great.
going on.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So these are prototypes. You've got any idea when? Have you got a timeline?
Yeah, so as I mentioned at the beginning, we can only make one thing at a time, for better or worse. And so we haven't decided which one we'll make first, but whichever one gets made first, and this is very loosely saying it'll be perhaps July or August.
Yeah.
Once we start, then it doesn't take long.
But you just got to
the
set
point
the
is that it
production
has
line.
to be fully 100% finished first.
Yeah.
And it's basically there, but there's always like little things come up right before production usually. But yeah, and then I wouldn't want to, again, I should be super vague about all this stuff, but
so yeah,
it'd probably be like, and then a few months later would be the next one, and then a few months later.
And then you'll have to obviously we'll get into pricing when you see it at your dealers, ask them how much it is, kind of thing.
Yeah.
All right, Mark, thank you so much.
It's been my pleasure. Thanks for coming around.